Why, hello, everybody. I'm Lloyd Lindsay Young, and you remember that? I mean, that's what you do for the chat with Alan. Every time you start with that, I go back to the maracas. No, Farrah Fawcett. Yes, she had nice maracas. I go back to WOR on cable, and here's this crazy dude doing the weather. Hello.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Ron. That's where I probably picked it up from when we got cable and stuff.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you think you're original, but you hear something from somewhere else, you just remember it.
I remember once going into before early on in the streaming of the game, maybe when mostly everything was taped. The OG and Philip Reynolds, how are you guys this evening? And I almost said to I didn't do pull up a chair because I knew where that was from, but I almost said a very pleasant evening for those of you, or whatever the Scully thing is. That's right, because you can chat now. We fixed that. It's like, no, that's Scully. You really can't. You sound enough like him, but don't imitate him. But oh yeah, there's nothing original in this.
It's even when you think that's their original, they picked it up from somebody else.
Oh yeah,
but that's the way it is. It's all right.
Everything is stolen.
Yeah,
everything is stolen. So how you been?
Been all right. Good. Right. It's okay.
So Al's got a set of maracas.
I do, and Nurse Teresa gave me these. I'm working on the kid's xylophone. I'm gonna have a whole little band thing here.
Have you told Devin this yet?
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a live band. It's me.
A live band.
Yeah, it's gonna be me. I'm
and
the live band.
Now, do you get to call your own copyright strikes against yourself?
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get lyrics from real songs and just change them to what the hell I want to say. So, thus, it's mine. Just like Vanilla Ice. Do 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 do. And theirs went. That's one of the funniest things I ever seen on VH1. They did behind the music, Vanilla Ice, and he had sampled.
It was Queens Under Pressure.
Yes, and so he's going no. Theirs went do 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 do, and he's motioning with his hand. They had the footage from the civil case, right? And he goes, ours went do 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 do, and the judge went, You're right. Case dismissed. It's like, I mean, I'm speeding up the whole, but that was all. He changed.
Carol Burnett sued Seth MacFarlane. Remember that?
That one I don't know. Oh wow, when that happened?
For Family Guy, they go into Peter. This has turned into Chat with Alan, an awful big hurry.
That's it.
Peter and the gang go into a porn shop, and there's a.
I never saw this one.
Janet, the janitor character that she played, and comes out, and of course, it's a porn shop. You know why you need a janitor there, right?
Yeah.
You can't. We're not even going to talk about that on Chat with Al.
No, we're not going to talk about it here. That's for sure.
And it plays a rearranged version of her theme song.
Really? And she got mad at that.
And she successfully sued the National Enquirer for $100,000.
Yeah, because she proved it cost. The reason that was the first time I understood how they could get away with what they, when they would say stuff about people.
Mm-hmm.
You had to prove monetary damage, I guess, that you actually lost something. And she proved that she was going to come back with a show or something on whatever, and she proved that she lost money because of that. The Enquirer, right? The Enquirer interview. So, anyway, but that's not what we're here to talk about. I've derailed the whole thing.
Hey, it's Saturday night, so she just.
Hello, everybody.
There's parody, and then there's come on, really? That was in bad taste.
I got to go back. I've got to be honest. I never seen that one, and I'm giggling away because I think it's funny. I can get where she gets upset with that.
Funny, but that's a little different. From Dave's in the hot tub watching, but that's a little different from
Dave's in the hot tub watching.
Can you
wow chicka wow?
Now, can you add chat to the screen as a guest or no?
Oh, you want me to click on these things?
Yeah, if you can.
No, I can't, or I would.
Okay. Speaking of bad visuals, there's one right there.
Uncle Dave. I sent you a PlayStation friend request,
Um,
Uncle Dave.
yeah. So I get up this morning, and you wanted to talk about gaming.
Yeah.
And so I figured I'd just give you you wanted to do it last night and it was too late. So I was going to give you the chance to talk about gaming. So,
Well, the reason, and I was telling Uncle Ron offline, we love our action PC games.
yes.
Uncle Ron introduced me to them. I love them. I am happy he introduced me to these games. They're all great. I play some more than others, and like a game junkie, I buy them each year they come out because in case there's something. And I told Uncle Ron, or just told is not the right word. I discussed with Uncle Ron.
Yes.
I hate when I have a bad habit of saying told. I don't mean it that way. I discussed with Uncle Ron. The action PC games are statistically very good, right? I think they are. I mean, I've played enough of them where they're fun, and you could see if you change a little something. Okay, that could have happened. It's nothing strange, right? Where what I think they need to concentrate on, it's good that they update the stat report packages and all that. But to be honest with you, the stat report packages were outstanding to begin with. I don't think people buy those games. They want statistics. They want something different than, say, Stratomatic or Card and Dice. That's the reason why they're buying it, or they want something to supplement Card and Dice. Like we've all gotten back to Card and Dice. It's pretty funny.
Well, I'm going to talk about that in a couple minutes, actually.
Yeah, I mean, God, I have my set sitting here going, what am I going to do next?
There's a reason why my door is closed. She doesn't know what I did, but.
Oh, you can tell us. We'll be quiet.
Yeah,
anyway, so Uncle Ron did his unboxing of the Action PC 2019 hockey game. I know I pre-bought it. Uncle Ron pre-bought it. I don't know if Dave pre-bought it. I know he has. I don't know if
I think he did pre-buy.
Yeah.
He did pre-buy it.
So and I don't know if ID Gesture bought it, but Uncle Ron, Uncle Dave, and ID Gesture, huge
credit card. He declined it.
Oh, huge hockey fans. I play because I like to have all different kind of games. I like hockey too, but
you're a Whalers fan, though.
I am a Whalers fan.
Only saving grace in that franchise was Brass Bonanza, but
it was unbelievable. So the only second best theme song for a goal was "Shake, Rattle, and Roll." That was the Springfield Indians. We're gonna shake.
Oh, that's cool.
Rattle and roll. Oh yeah, they changed to the Star Wars theme in the late '70s, and people got pissed. No, so the Action PC. Hello, Captain Carl, and Apachata, and Uncle Dave Gardner, Sports Time Machine, Clinton Parks, Fan-O-Matic. I think I saw in there. Tribes Fan, Philip Reynolds. And the original Grognard OG. Thank you very much for joining Uncle Ron and myself. But so I kept going when they said before I did the pre-order, they tell you what they're going to do. And the first thing I go to, because I know it's going to be a good stat package. I know I can add all the logos if I want and all that other stuff. I go to the chalkboard animation. I want to know what they're doing with the chalkboard. And I didn't see anything, but I said, you know what? I'm still going to buy it because I looked at the pictures. It looked a little brighter, the coloring, the squares or the rectangles or however you want to use it. Because, if you use the name, it's a rectangle. If you use the rating, it's a square. They look bigger.
Really? It looked tinier to me, but.
Okay, I'm just lying. Can I just lie a bit to myself?
Absolutely. It's like we can pretend that we, collect.
Can I pretend I'm slightly happy with it?
Sure.
Anyway. So I think. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was playing Borderlands just before I completed a side mission. Yeah. We could play some. Thank you, Uncle Ron. Mm-hmm. You buy the game you want, and they made this big to-do about all this new stuff. I played it. The game loads up much quicker. That I pooped. When Ron said when he first opened
it's about the only thing of, yes.
I could not believe how quick the game loaded up because usually I have to sit there and wait. And sometimes it's partly my PC, but it takes a little bit to load up. I mean, I'm happy they redid the stat package stuff and all that. But really, is that what people buy that game for? I spoke with Uncle Ron, discussed. It's the chalkboard animation, guys, that you have to concentrate on. Make the player, the little icons, move. Smooth. Make them move. I mean, what do you look for, Uncle Ron?
I was kind of, I've tried because it's better for streaming to go to the horizontal rink because I prefer the vertical.
Right.
But people want to see the horizontal rink, and at some point, like you do in the baseball game and the football game, you should be able to replay a goal. So when you hit the replay a thing, you can explain it. Here's what happened, or got through it. Saw the screen there and realized that Dryden just couldn't see it and zipped it past over or whatever it is that we do.
Why have they not done that?
I don't know.
I know, and I'm just
Dave actually asked that last.
I listened to it this morning because I caught it on demand. I recommend watching it on demand because you're going to see and determine whether you're. Dave says, "Oh, they have the replay button." I started to giggle because I did the same thing. I wonder if the replay button is going to show video.
I did that once, I think, in years past, and so I knew that hadn't changed. But I remember in a conversation I had with him that we had talked about, why can't you? They said it was too kind of complex. I don't think the basketball game has replay. Baseball and football do, but then again, you can replay in golf, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because I've done that where I just put up a quick little video going because I think it's pretty what are the whole point is what are the odds of this guy sinking this putt, and you click it and it goes in. I think it's pretty fun.
That's a pretty accurate statement, I think, Dave.
Dave Gardner says, things I'd like to see in hockey 2020. All things I want to see in hockey. Yeah. I don't understand when they make a big to-do about the stats. Their stats are good.
I didn't see anything new that was tracked. And if you were a draft player, if you were doing a draft league, there were some good tools for that, what your settings were for individual players and how much time on the ice that they would play. I think that was one of the big new ones. They didn't add the fictional stuff to be like they did in basketball. But I don't know if Eddie was actually creative of fictional for basketball.
I just you buy. I didn't. No, that's I can scroll down on my phone. They need to make the chalkboard like East. Oh, Glenn brings up a great point. I have East Side Hockey. That is, if they can make it similar, that was one of my points. I told someone before. East Side Hockey is a game you can. I have it through Steam, and I don't through Steam. There's only one version, like 1 year on there. I've never gone to the East Side site to see if they've done season after season, and it's to my knowledge, it's only the modern, like whatever season it is when you buy it. But Glenn is absolutely correct. There's circles with little sticks, but you know what? It actually does bring it now. Action PC needs to do that. That East Side Hockey, and it's actually a fun game. It would be tough. I thought about streaming it, but it's really tough for me to call because it goes too fast. Even though when you can slow it down, I'm not that astute with hockey. I actually need the just something to tell me what's the names and stuff. But yeah, that's a great point, Glenn. East Side Hockey, and they have a wonderful community. The version from I have that, I played a bit, and they have a wonderful community that they have like a mod pack, Uncle Ron, where it changes everybody's name to what it's supposed to be. Adds all the logos. I didn't do that. Did I do the photo one? I can't remember. But yeah, Glenn's right. That's where I'm getting at. That's what I was getting at. There are, and again, we're not programmers. Again, that costs them money. They maybe in their head they say they can't justify it. But the chalkboard is the big. The chalkboard is the big grab for me. That's the thing. When I saw Uncle Ron play that game, I went, I don't know if you recall, I think I sent you, this is before we were doing things like this, and I think I had sent a message right through YouTube, on the video. What is this game? Where do I get it? because I was looking for a game like that.
And it's refined. The baseball game is refined. The football game is refined. And even if you know that the quarterback going back slow isn't always an interception, sometimes it can be a sack as well.
Yep.
But you know something bad's about to happen to that quarterback. It's like when the music changes in a Western.
So I guess my point, and maybe Uncle Ron's point, is if you can do it for baseball and football, why can't you do it for hockey, which we're talking about now, but also basketball?
I thought the chalkboard in basketball was a major step backwards from last year.
I thought the chalkboard, the shot animation, because I use it.
Hard to go with whatever hand the shooter is. Yeah.
Was slightly better. That being said, I want to see that they don't have to move fast or anything. Like, just move. They basically go from in basketball, because I actually play that more than the hockey, right? It moves. You have basically 2 sectors. Half, each team's halves. It kind of does this, and then it goes over there, right? And I don't understand why they can't just make it a little smoother. I think it brings the immersion. We talk about immersion all the time.
When I first started playing action PC basketball, I forgot what year I bought it, 2012, 2013, or my wife bought it, let's be honest. It was a half-court game.
Wow. I wouldn't have bought it.
The courts were all done, but it was a half-court game. So that is all transition. I think the hockey's always had the horizontal. Football was vertical when I first tried, when they had a demo for that, and then they went with the horizontal right around the time that one of like 2nd and 10-5 came out or whatever. And the baseball was that half screen with the ballparks, and now you full screen and all that. So they've come forward. It's an older base that plays the games.
Yeah,
and that's not one that kiddies are going to play. And
go ahead. No, but my point, excellent point. I understand where you're going with that, and I agree with you totally. You can please finish your. I'm sorry, I'm squirreling. I'm interrupting. But my point is to bring more people in. Try the chalkboard. When I show someone who likes sports these games, right? They're like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." Or someone will jump in and they'll say, and they're being legit. They're not being a troll or anything. "Hey, what is this game? Wow, that's those move. That's pretty fun." I think the big draw to Action PC, in my opinion, we know it's a good statistical game. Now, everyone has pros and cons with open engine, closed engine. We can discuss that,
right?
Whatever. But I'm not even tonight. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Let's just. To me, the big draw with Action PC games, if someone's buying the Action PC games or thinking about the Action PC games, right? It's to see a little more visual. That's just my opinion. That's why I got it.
I mean, this channel would not have had the success that it's had if I was streaming football games in 2nd and 10.
And that's too bad, because that's a beautiful game. I wish they would go with some sort of animation.
It's the chalkboard that makes the broadcasts better, because you can see the action and whatever. But the point I was going to make was, I'm on the younger side, I think, of their base, and I'm 47 for another couple months. I had to look at the calendar down on the bottom of the screen. When does this happen? AARP started sending me stuff at 45. We're going to get you. We're going to get you right now.
We're going to get you, my little pretty, and your cat, right, too.
How you doing, Will?
Hello, Will.
And, helps if the mouse doesn't slide. It's 20. They should be able to do 12 for hockey.
I agree.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. But, I think when you are dealing with players who are a customer base that is 65, 70 years old, let's be honest.
You think Action PC's customer base is that old? You think it's more towards the 60s and less towards the 40s?
Yeah, I think you and I and Dave are kind of on the younger end of that spectrum. Okay. And I think you just got to make it simple. Okay. That's not necessarily a bad thing.
No,
for people who aren't computer literate as much, and that's not a slam on anybody.
No,
but
no, I know. I hear you're playing your customer base, like
you're
with
playing.
anything.
I mean, if you open up OOTP for the first time, and you see that Mac style interface of you click the house icon, it goes home. You click the globe, and it goes to that. I don't think would fly with people who are coming from a pure cards and dice or maybe not a computer savvy crowd.
The quick thing out of the ballpark, right? When I first started playing it, I got it on Steam. I was looking for a baseball game. It literally, Uncle Ron will know this. You watched a ball move. That's all. No fielders, no anything, no. And you went, and I would read the text, and I'd be all excited. And so when they add all these other things,
first version of that I played was 2.
Wow.
In fact, true story.
Yes.
On 9/11, that's what I was doing when I got a phone call to turn on the television.
Yeah.
Just playing out of the park baseball. Anyway, that's how long that's been around.
Yeah.
And so if you did that with a Stratomatic or an Action PC, I think you would just confuse too many people.
You're probably right.
Happy medium, doesn't need to be as.
I mean, you don't have to do what Out of the Ballpark does,
and that's very much geared to. And again, this is not to be a disparaging remark. It's very much guaranteed to a console crowd.
Out of the Ballpark.
Yes, out of the ballpark.
Yes, you're getting the visual, which is pretty damn good for a sim game.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, and some of the fields you can actually do the batter level. Some of the fields I don't know. I didn't try that with the newer. Well, I should go. But you literally get the batter's box view. And I haven't streamed that because I don't think it's fun to watch. Like when you're playing it yourself, because you see the batter, and then you see from the batter's eyes. But back to Action PC. I would like to see them develop the chalkboard a little more for all their games. And again, I go back to I've discussed this with Uncle Ron. Time travel tennis ASG games, right?
Richard Hanna, 2nd and 10. Those are all Richard Hanna and replay.
I'm telling you, I'm not the biggest tennis fan. That game is the best, period, for a card and dice to be moved to the PC.
I'd love to stream more of that, but the 4 minutes and 38 seconds of average time on the video tells me that people will. Oh, that's nice, and pat you on the head. What are you showing?
You roll the dice, right? You see the result. You understand. It's an open engine, right? You see the result. There's cards. You understand it, and they have the little player icon move absolutely seamless to the ball, and you have the striking noises back and forth. You have the chair ump. It's unbelievable.
Who would have thought that a shot-by-shot card and dice tennis game, where, I mean, if you watch a match, I mean, if you watch the Nadal Medvedev final at the U.S. Open a couple of weeks ago, 4 hours and 48 minutes to play. Who would have thought that type of game would be captivating? But you're absolutely right.
Listen, and if anyone's played that game with an open mind, I get it. If you dislike tennis, then you're not going to like the game. But if you like tennis at one point in time, if you play, and here's the thing, there's a free demo that you can play over and over. You don't even have to buy the game. I did. I bought the nice pack because I wanted a lot of players. It's seamless. So my point is, why can't Action PC for hockey? We'll stick with the hockey.
Right.
Be seamless. I don't get it.
I don't either. I just know that. Well, here, let me just kind of jump forward. I bought Strat Hockey for the first time in 8 years.
Yeah, apparently. I heard that on your video today. That's why I was like excited, because we've talked about that too. I keep looking at that game.
And now I'm gonna do it because my dear friend Tony Whitehill. I mean, we were in a league together.
He was in the chat. He was in the chat the other night.
Yes, he was. We were in a league together in college. And I believe I dumped him out of a playoff one year, and then I got dumped in 7 games in the final that year. And so it was always a game that I knew. And for someone who is not a diehard hockey fan, okay, I'll watch the Habs. and whatever. But as far as, I'm not Mr. Gardner when it comes to strategy or anything like that. Like, okay, yeah, put the puck on the net and good things will happen. Don't ask me what a neutral zone trap is. I just know that we killed hockey for a long time.
I know they changed the rule because of that.
They had to,
because the Devils won 2 Stanley Cups by clogging up my terminology in the middle.
And DJ John just stole my thought right there. I bought the last one with the last interface, and then they changed the interface starting with the 11-12 version. And so this is all new to me, but yes, it's the same version, same interface that's been there for the last 8 years. Now I'm buying this for the first time with the new interface.
So here's my point, because I have Strat Football and Strat Baseball. I bought Strat Baseball because that's the first, besides the Fran Tarkenton, game I played, card and dice.
Right.
And it does what I wanted it to do. Okay.
Don't be sorry, John. Don't be sorry at all.
The football has wonderful animation. I have to tell you that. The football.
I enjoy watching you and Mike stream the games.
It has nice animation. It's not I prefer Action PC, but I do like playing.
The price point is too much.
Yeah.
Considering that I have Action PC and I have Tekken and 10.
Yeah, that was going to be my next point, but and I'll let you go back to that.
I'll say the same thing again. Sorry.
That's okay. So I'm looking at this really great animation for the football. It's outstanding. It's outstanding. And you can roll and you can bring up the card charts to see how it goes. That gets a little clunky because sometimes the little thing doesn't move fast enough. And I'm thinking, well, I rolled. But I'm actually getting better at reading the cards and this and that. Because, again, with baseball, I played it, so I know it like for me.
Oh, yeah.
You know it quicker, right? Why can't they take that animation that they beautifully have done in football? I give Strat some credit, and I never do. I love the game. They've had more sales. They've come up with what people want. They came up with the 80s package for card and dice, which I have. The 90s package for card and dice for baseball, which I have. They're going to come out with a 70s A and B, which I'll get both, okay, because I like that. That's the stuff I like. They've come out with another, rivalry thing. That looks interesting. I don't know if I'm getting
some of that, and that was kind of weird. But, yeah,
but looks
people
interesting.
That one up. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's good. They've had sales now. They never had sales. Maybe they are listening to us. You have to have sales people. People like sales. And when you have sales, people actually will spend more money than they would have originally. Their seasons, I have to be honest, for PC, they're not that. I have, and I'll let Ron will discuss, but I'm like Ron. I want to get a few more football seasons, but I have them all for Action PC. And in my mind, I can't justify it. I enjoy the Strat Football, but
is my wife watching this? No, because I'm doing a stream, and so she doesn't watch my streams.
Everybody, shh. Uncle Ron's gonna tell us a secret.
Don't call my wife right now. I bought the PC version of the hockey game that comes out Monday.
Yep.
Now, someone that we love near and dear, just bought a whole bunch of seasons, and he spent some money. Yep. But if he wants to buy the new season coming out, and they don't change the rules all that often in Strat, all he has to do is pay, if he wanted to, is pay for the new card set price or whatever the retro season. I think they're doing, 50-51.
You mean for the PC?
No.
Oh,
for the regular cards and dice.
Gotcha. So, no, I know you're, yeah. Oh,
right.
Okay. Yeah.
And so if he wants to pay, let's say the Bruins win the cup next year.
Yep.
Or we watch enough hockey that he gets into enough that he wants to relive the 1920 season. The 2019-2020 season, not the 1920.
Right. I understand.
Right.
Yep.
That if he wanted to go through and buy that for cards and dice, it would be whatever they were charging for the card set in a year. $25, $30, 27. Yeah. If I want to, if let's say Montreal pulls the Miracles,
I know you're going. Yeah.
Wins the Stanley Cup. If I want that season and
on
I
PC.
Want the card image on PC, $62.
Yeah, and they get away with it because they have a loyal fan base. But here's the problem with that. Someone had put, I don't know. I think it might have been your chat when I was watching it on demand this morning. Having making breakfast for my dad, coffee and stuff. Or somewhere they'd said, "Oh, they're having a lot more sales. Maybe they're hurting for money." I don't think they're hurting for money, but they want to create more sales. And the way you make sales in this, there's a lot of competition. We keep saying, is this a dying genre? I don't think so.
No.
I think there's a ton of there's new stuff coming out. I look for new games all the time.
Just in the couple months that Dave and I have done the podcast together.
Digital Dice.
DigitalDice.com, of course. In fact, you can see it on the top of your screen right now. I'm amazed at how many games I didn't know.
Yeah.
Were out there. I mean, okay, maybe
I think we play the best ones that I know of.
Right. I don't think they're trying to clear out inventory. If they're producing new content, Strat is.
Yeah. Now here's the thing with Strat.
I mean, those diamond sets that you're talking about, those are all new, right?
Those are brand. Oh, they're. I have one here.
I mean,
and you can play. This is the 81 Yankees, and I play them against everybody. And I'm psyched because the 70 set has the 78 Yankees with Ron Guidry's phenomenal season. Yeah, I can say that. Phenomenal season. I'm not like an angry Red Sox. So.
I mean, there you go. And up until a few years ago, the only retro thing that they offered were the 42 old timers teams in Basic.
And I play a lot of Basic. It's not because I don't understand Advanced.
It's a fine game.
Basic is fun. And I have all the old teams. I bought them all because it's fun to say the names in my mind, whether I stream or not. It's fun for me. So I think Strat needs to do a few more sales. I think they need to put together these. I like to see them bring those 80 sets, 90 sets. I think they won't bring that to PC because they want people to buy the seasons. I think people will sit there and go, well, I can get the best teams and I don't need to buy the season. So
if I wanted to, remember when Tabletop Chris went through some of those 80 cards.
Hello, Ken.
And the George Brett card is pure porn.
Oh yeah, it's just it's
pure porn. But if I wanted to do that on the PC,
you got to get the whole.
It's going to be $87 because you want the card image. In my mind, there's no reason to buy Strat if you're not going to play it as the Cards and Dice game. And so, and you don't get the choice of a season. Of course, it was a Red Sox.
That's the thing I forgot. I want to ask you. That is another point, Ron, and Ron will explain it more. This. For a lot of other games, you can buy. You don't have to get the season, the new season.
Absolutely not. NP3 does it that way. You can buy versions of the Action PC that just have whatever, and you can buy a season to go with it. If you don't want the new season, Replay gives you the season of choice when you buy the game. There must be others.
ASG does it for golf, I believe.
You get a course and you get a decade set of your choice.
Right.
But still, that's all customized. And the same for the tennis game. If you wanted to. So if you just wanted to do the McEnroe and Connor years, you could do that.
So I think Strat should do that. They're still charging the same money, but let you have your, instead of saying, okay, Ron bought the hockey game. Sorry. And maybe he wants to get a Canadian season. Right? Whatever with Dryden when they win the cup.
Whatever is on my VHS collection, right there, Gardner. Wink, wink.
Yeah, that was funny. That was outstanding. That when the guys what did he say? He had thousands. I have no life. I have to say thousands of boxing matches on VHS that I can never. I mean, I have a converter. It won't work anymore. Where I was converting tapes to discs, and that took forever. But yeah, it's funny. I understood that right away. I have easily over thousands of fights.
And so they would do so much better if they said, okay, we'll sell you the base. The base game is $42. They charge you $18 to turn on the card, and so you can.
Why did see that again? Okay, and I bite for it too, Ron. I want the card. I want the pictures. I want the cards. That's what's fun to me.
You had talked about the basketball game. You had said that you might be interested in it. I'm not sure I'd play it enough.
Here's the thing.
And here's $87 because I'm not really interested in today's modern
Yeah.
pro basketball.
Again, that's the thing with Strat that keeps me from buying stuff. Okay, because I don't necessarily want the new season.
You
Okay?
are watching. You know that.
He can't stop from watching. It's amazing that there are women that love us.
She stayed with me for 23 years too. So
Put that back up again if you can, if it's not too much trouble. Let me read. This is DJ John 4444. It's amazing that there are women that love us. LOL. It's true. It's true. That's a great line. But yeah, that's the thing. I have Strat basketball, right? When I was a kid, I bought it.
I bought it when I was in college.
I pulled it out. I found it. I played a bit, the basic. To play the advanced by yourself with all the, it's, so I
forgot what version I played. It took a while. It took like 45 minutes to play a quarter.
It took a long time. That's why I think I got it. But I was playing a bit of it and going, you know what? On the PC, I probably would like this because it's easy to understand. It's really easy to this, bing, bing, open engine. But I don't want the modern. What I was looking at was, it's kind of cool. You get this file, but you make your teams. Basically, they're giving you Hall of Famers, right? And you just make teams. That's kind of interesting. But then that, like Uncle Ron just said, if I want to do that, the game with the card images is $60-something.
$60, and then they charge you a $2 processing fee.
Another, right? And then that's the other one. Really, Strat, $2 processing fee.
We pause 5 seconds for Dave Gardner to finish up. This is the Retro Sports Network.
I'm not going to repeat. Now, if that was Chat with Al, I would have read that out.
That's why I did the station identification
break.
And he's done.
He's done. And for that, Dave Gardner gets. Let me do this right here. Coochie coochie.
you know, turbocharged.
Hello, turbocharge.
Yeah, I like the game, but again, this would be the one that I would buy. That would be the thing that I would do. It would be a 85-86 because that's the year the Celtics went 40 and won at home, and that would be the one that I would want to play most. And that. So, do I enjoy it? We can get into those games in a minute.
I've seen a lot of people play those, and Uncle Ron can speak more on. I've not really played the inside. I downloaded the demo. Beautiful aesthetics with the coloring of the game and this and that. To me, no knock against the game because I don't play it enough, and I thank them for letting me play the demo. You get like 3 days to play it or something, or I could be. But there's a time period. It's pure card and dice, that's for sure. But I mean, it's every little thing you have to look at. And I've watched our good friend Eric from Higher Ground Gaming play it. I've watched ID Gesture play it.
Yeah, I have it. I
watched
about a year ago. Yeah.
Not my thing.
What's
your thoughts on that?
I think it's more advanced than Strat. I think it's kind of geared more to someone who's more in line.
I'll be right back, Uncle Ron. I got to do something real quick.
But I haven't played Inside Pitch. ID Gesture did that wonderful Bo Jackson replay with that 162 games. To me, there was too much dead time setting between shots. You'd sit there, you'd take a fast action card, pass. You look at the rating, pass. Again, pass. Considering pass. And so you might take a full, because you change lines every 2 minutes. There just wasn't enough action for me. I like the scoring zones. I thought the time on the ice was a little more realistic than what I remember from playing Strat. But as far as that, no, it seemed a little too much like work. And I think we've all kind of taken more of a renaissance into cards and dice gaming, but I just haven't been enamored with any of their games, to be honest. I watched Elin do the football one and couldn't make heads or tails out of it. Usually you can sit there and watch a game and figure out how it goes, even with a cards and dice game. Do you not call your plays? That didn't make any sense. And maybe on the tabletop, it is better. There's a lot to like about the game, but just for me, it was too much. Pass, pass, pass. Front. And we're waiting for Al to come back, but yeah, you know, back to the Strat-O-Matic thing. I think if they were to go through and say, okay, you understand if you go to their kingdom, you're going to pay their tariffs. And so if you understand that you're going to pay $62 for a new edition with a card and dice add-on, so you can actually play it like a card game and dice game, I really do think that you could just pick the season. And you're going to go through, and if you like the engine, you're going to go back and buy more seasons. I mean, there's very few Action PC seasons I don't have. I think you got it for football. I have like everything from mostly 60 forward with a couple holes. Basketball, the same deal. Hockey, there's a few holes there. Baseball, I have everything from 1900 forward. Roster card, I have the entire 100. I actually got to send him my email for the update. I have everything. You know, just because you like the engine, you're going to buy the seasons. But that's just me. And I think it's just hard, especially because when Strat updates a season, they update it with the game, and then you got to buy the new version of the game. They haven't changed their interface in hockey in 8 years. And so it might be 4 or 5 years before when I buy a hockey season again. But if they throw out a golden season from one of the Islanders championships or one of the Canadiens championships, that I would be like, oh, I'll play that. And I got to buy the whole damn game again and spend the $87. I think that from what I understand, that's much better. Again, it's much better actually playing it on the tabletop than playing it on the PC. The fact that I got to roll off the pitcher's card and then off the hitter's card bothered me. But I haven't played it, so I don't know. So there. Hopefully Al will be back soon. But yeah, I mean that's that. And you know, what else are you guys playing? You know, I see ID Jester is doing some it used to be Pursue the Pennant. You know, games like Payoff Pitch, where you wish there were more seasons. It's hard to produce seasons in a hurry, especially when you're a small operation. That I'd love to see ported over to a computer or at least an Excel helper, because I could play it. Because I like the fact that it's not just the simple 50-50 engine, but you could get different results on different batters all the time. I think it's great. Al's coming back in a second. I have not tried the FTP. I know that ID Jester and Dave Gardner have played the hockey ones, and I think that's the right one. As Al comes, oops, no.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. It's not. I forget. Is the FTP, is that the modern takes on like the Rod Gilbert and the Vince Lombardi, or is that something else? Is that the everyday player stuff?
Are you guys still talking about inside?
No, we're talking about the FTP games.
What are those, Uncle Ron?
And we also talked a little bit about Payoff Pitch.
That would be a fun game on the PC.
Yep, that's what DJ John has said. There's a company that does the remakes of like it's not the Rod Gilbert hockey, and they're like the Lombardi football. Now, is Lombardi football and Tarkington football, is that from the same people?
The Tarkington football, because we've talked about that before, and I looked up Lombardi football when you said that a while back. It's very similar. I don't remember who did it, but again, it's APA-ish in a way, because it's using the 11, you know, like the dice roll 11 through 66 kind of thing. And you have a player. You have a play rating, not a player rating, a play rating.
Right.
And to be honest with you, it's easy to understand. It would have been nice to see if that game evolved, you know, like if they had went, like I've modded it. I've given player ratings. I've put some of those up on the channel. Dave Garner, sideline football, FT.
TP. I know that we've tried to get the guy that created the hockey version on the.
Oh, that'd be good. That'd
Yeah.
be cool.
And I'll let Mr. Gardner or someone who's played the games respond to that. Fire wagon hockey.
Now, my next quick little thing,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long we're going to stay, but my other thing is, so we like playing card and dice, all of us, right? Whether it's on the PC or this or that.
I seem to have invested heavily in the card and dice games in the last 6 months.
Right. We've all done it. We've all somehow got back to it because it's fun. Now, we have different games of choice. I've gone back to Strat, no matter how much I save things. It's the game I played. It's the game I understand the best. I enjoy it. The FTP games are tabletop, but also have Excel helpers. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Excel helpers are cool.
Yes.
Dugout Steps Baseball too.
It's an FTP game. All right. I know there's.
I gotta look. I have to look up that. I'm not familiar with those games. So here's my point with card and dice. Some of these games I've watched people play, and they're enjoying them. And if you enjoy the game, just play it. Don't worry about what people think. Wouldn't it? I think there's a way to do these things. Again, some people like the minutia of getting the exact everything, so they want the charts. But wouldn't it be nice? I'll tell you what I love about.
Are you talking about roster card now? Is that what we're leading up to?
I'll tell you what I love about Glory Days Boxing from our good friend Anthony Crooks. All the information's right here, and there's one chart, one. Well, and then on the scoring thing, there's a few
couple, but still, there's one.
And again, it's boxing; it's different. But my point is, he even did a baseball game. I've watched it because he has it on his channel, right?
Actually, was featuring that before he's featuring his boxing game,
right? It can be done with very little charts. And again, someone might come up, oh, well, if this play happens and the moon's full, it should be this. But what the game you play or a game you are thinking about, what keeps you from, what would you like to see? Like Strat, people talk about the 50-50 sort of split, 1 through 3 batters card, 4, 5, and 6 pitchers card. And again, it's not an even 50-50 because it's weighted on each card. They'd be interesting if they could somehow, then it wouldn't be Strat. But, that's a complaint that people have. Even I sometimes have that. I know Tenacious Earl has that from his replay for the Philadelphia Fly. Pine Tar uses one chart. Yeah, okay, Ken. So that's my point. I think, like ID Gesture talks about, like the hockey game, and what's wrong with with the flow of the game and this and that. Again, it's difficult to capture sometimes. But what I've learned from the
almost
quick
impossible.
Hockey's tough. I've watched a lot because I've been looking into more and more hockey games. I'd like to get I would never do a card and dice hockey game unless it was PC version.
Strat, I think you'd enjoy.
Yeah.
Strat, I think you'd enjoy because it's all.
Does it play similar? It must play similar. It's fast action cards, right?
Fast action cards, but the shots on goal are all directed by dice.
Yeah, I think I would like that.
And the basic has just like a basic Strat chart. It's one side of one board, and the face off and the penetration for the skaters if they want to go from an outside shot to an inside shot, and the power play is all on one side of one of those long sheets of paper.
I guess my point being, like, okay, so I play, it's actually called Dice Baseball. I have a ton of seasons of it. Fun game. Some people like it, some people don't. I enjoy it. To me, they go overkill with certain things. If it's a ground ball to second, right, and it's hit hard, just do the Strat thing. It's a double play. I don't need to, and they kind of do it, but they don't. Again, then you have like all-star baseball lineup, Craig Winsel's game. Fun game, right? Very little charts there. The thing that messes me up with that, because I'm not lying when I say I have some dyslexia. I mean, he has the images of lefties and righties. And unless I know the player's exact, I have to look that stuff up. Like it's a silhouette kind of thing. But that plays with no charts. Now, there's a couple of things in that game that when I first bought it, and I was message him and to clarify a couple of things because I misinterpreted a rule. So there should be a happy medium with some of these. See, I guess people like APA because once you know the charts and the numbers, it goes quick. Because I was watching.
4 is a 24 is a 24 is a
Again,
24.
me, it means nothing. That's why I looked at APA like, I don't understand this game. You have to look at charts, way too many. But Chris, our good friend, Tabletop Delaware, he's fallen in love with it.
If once you know the base is empty chart, and since half the readings will come with at least with the base is empty, you'll learn to pick it up. A 13 is a strikeout. Okay,
a 66 is good, right?
A dice roll of a 66 is good. It's going to be but no, a play result number of 13 is a strikeout. Play result number of 30 is a fly out to left field. With a runner on, it can change depending on but it's all very basic stuff. And once you understand what they are, then you can put it. It's a very simple language. There's problems with HAPA, but there's problems with every game.
There's problems with every game. I mean, you can come across you can come across problems with every game. Dice hockey was way too much. Dice football too. Really? Because you could get them for $5 a season.
No, charts, I think. The chart.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah. I downloaded. No, I'm sorry. He's right. I downloaded all those demos because I enjoyed the baseball game. And I'm looking at this going, this is way too much. This is overkill. Because I wanted a hockey game. I want another a football game, right? I go, this is overkill. I think they're trying to. I understand that in hockey, line changes, this and that, and the ebb and flow. Will you ever really be able to capture that in a card and dice game? My personal opinion is no. So you have to try to just go from, and they probably do this. I just didn't look into it. Just zone from zone to zone. You know what I'm saying? Defensive zone, center zone, and then in the opponent's zone. Somehow just move that. And I think that would be successful for a hockey game. And again, there are people who want to fiddle with the lines and this and that. The hockey game just give me the lines. I'm not that astute at hockey.
Right.
What is the most common lines that they used?
We sat there Dave and I sat there one afternoon and tried to do a period of Status Pro because they found the fast action cards online. It's one of the Lewis research and they have it. It's like, well, if I can do that, then if they're easy to assemble, that I could do that because it's considerably cheaper. You can get a decade for $38, which would be, I like buying in bulk. I guess when it comes to
bulk buyers, you and I, Ron.
We are the.
You learn from the best.
And that's true. APA Basic and Master are quite different dogs for sure. Now I lost my train of thought because I'm still thinking about
hockey Status Pro. You can buy
Status Pro, and so no, it was all they were. Players were sorted by the points that they had scored, and then the teams were in another pile. And no, I'm not going to be able to snag it together to make that worthwhile.
Turbocharged Sports. I'll read it out, Uncle Ron.
Agrees with you. Yes.
Yeah, the line change. Again, I'm not an astute hockey. I like watching it occasionally. I like playing. I do enjoy. I play, but I wanted a card and dice thing, and I'm looking, and I downloaded the free demos. Now I know what Dave's talking about because I downloaded free demos from Dice Sports. They're called hockey. We're talking about that, and I'm looking at this, going, yeah, this is way too much. I'll tell you one thing. It'd be interesting to see. Some of these guys who've created these fast action games, is that the right for fast play? Sorry, fast play games.
Quick play games, yeah.
Quick play. I'd like to see them try to create, we'll call it a full game, but with their mindset. And again, I don't want that. One of those companies that just went out of business, which I bought a ton of stuff for.
No, Digging Deep.
Yeah, some of that stuff is. The boxing game's really fun and addictive, but everybody gets knocked out, and that's just not reality. And there's a freaking fly. You son of a... Oh, I got you. I killed him. I'm going to have to wipe that off the wall. But, yeah, the Digging Deep...
Why am I seeing pig being written on the wall behind you over there? No, I'm kidding.
The Digging Deep games, again, they've gone, they're interesting. I've only done the boxing because I'm tweaking the baseball game a bit, but I would like to see some of the quick play game companies try to develop a game, what we'll call a full game, but do it in a quick play style where this is the line. You have to get from face off. So this is the face off, and it's 3 sectors. That's the way I look at hockey. You have your defensive sector, you have the middle sector, neutral zone, whatever you want to call it, right? Neutral zone. And
Right.
then you have the opponents. You want to get into the offensive sector. There should be something that should be moved pretty quickly. No, you don't want to eat the fly. Flies are gross.
Yes, they are.
I'm not Renfield from Dracula.
They're adult maggots, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
I left this one on the screen for a moment because
Okay.
Mark Zarb is the one that really reinvented APA hockey.
Well, want me to read that or no?
No, Ken Castor, I can read it. The
Okay.
original APA hockey game from the early 90s was meh at best, and it was. This version is tight and fun. They actually got someone redesigned the game, and they took the design that the fan had done.
Wow.
And
So Ken, I'm asking Ken a question here, and anyone else in it. I don't know anything about APA hockey. Ron, do you know anything about APA hockey?
I've never played it.
Ken, when you have a chance, just type something in and tell us, how do you feel? You said it's fun. Does it flow? Is it a quick game to play? Because I play that wrestling game that's free that you're able to get on the replay site, right? It's APA. It's an APA clone. It's wrestling. You look at it, I'm like, this is APA. This is someone's basically used the APA for. It's very fun. And actually, once you know the things, and they have an Excel helper, right? You just go and it moves really smooth and quick. It's a fun game. It's a quick play. I guess, does the APA game, the flow? Because all I remembered about Strat football, and it's fun. I played it with my friend, and they like Tarkinen better. It took too long to do this and that and this and that,
Never played it. Here's my problem with the play.com games.
The book.
Despite the fact that we've tried to get these people to come on the podcast and they won't do it.
Really?
Yes. Pressure them to come on the show. Here's Kenny's going to go. Here's the answer from Kenny.
The flow is much better with house and homebrew rules I've collected. Also, the Excel helper is available. See, that would be cool. That'd be something I'd be interested in.
Ken is trying to write and eat and type at the same time, I think, here.
That's difficult.
Here's my thing with the play.com games. Outside of the fact that there's no Excel helper, there's no way for me to play
right,
the game.
That would be right.
Is that everything comes out of a book. I'm not talking about a couple charts, which you can kind of boil down to, but an honest to God book. And that's, you can't memorize that. At least with APA, a 24 is a 24 is a 24.
Yeah. And there are people who love those games. And I've watched them play it. They enjoy it. I enjoy watching it. But yeah, because I've looked at their football game. I'm like, I don't want to flip a book.
No,
it's just me. It's just me.
I mean, when Dave started his Digital to Dice journey, a 17-part lifetime special coming this Christmas to Retro
on the Dave Lifetime channel.
That's
24/7.
24/7. So that 5-second pause for self-gratification. Just hopefully it's done by now.
That's going to be our self-gratification.
One of the things that we talked about a lot when we first got to know him really well was flow, and it had nothing to do with anything Joe Theismann did to go to an airport bathroom.
Exactly.
But how
God, I remember that commercial.
How fast could I go from rolling for getting the result, or at least spinner, dice, Miss Cleo, to actually writing down the result? And I just don't.
I think because I really do want a hockey game, card and dice, or I'm probably going to lean towards Strat now.
I would
Right.
get the strap. You can
Yeah.
get a set.
'Cause-
You can get a card set and all the parts for $45 before shipping.
I'll probably do with that. I'd probably do PC only because I don't have I try to play my basketball game on my little table here. He says I'm still not watching. Yeah, but you're listening. We don't care if you watch or you don't. As long as you listen.
I get credit for the view and for the time.
That's right. We appreciate it all. Turbocharge. I like the play golf game. Agreed. The book is a bit much.
It's the book.
Yeah.
But
again, I guess it's funny that they won't come on with you guys. Springfield, Massachusetts area. I'm not. Everyone always thinks I'm near Boston. Boston doesn't even know we exist. We're in the western part of the state. Boston stopped. But like people who live in Boston.
Where's the line between 413 and 617?
413 and 617. 413 Springfield, literally. I think and the suburbs of Springfield. You know.
But where does the 617 area code start?
After Worcester.
So
because Worcester's 508, I want to say.
I think they had to go. You guys had to go to a third area code.
Yeah, because we have 413, 508, and 617.
Okay, 617 just Boston now.
The Boston, yeah.
Okay,
in that general area out there, they don't know anything exists outside. When you get 10 miles outside of Boston, it's like, yeah, that's not Massachusetts. Those are those crazy people.
Would you like to respond to that heresy that's on the screen now?
Yeah, that's Dave. He lives out east. We love him, but he's out east.
You know, the Simpsons, the TV show, they've never told you what Springfield.
I'm going to tell you right now. They have a Mayor Quimby, who's basically a Kennedy ripoff.
Yeah.
I get it. Illinois, I think, won when they had the debate and stuff, but it's not Illinois, people.
You know what?
It's Mass.
No, it's actually Vermont.
Vermont. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right with the thing. Right.
We won the contest.
You're right.
For beer, Springfield, Vermont.
Yeah. You know what? Though that makes more sense that if it's not going to be Springfield, Mass, that would be Vermont because there's a Mayor Quimby who is basically a Kennedy character.
Oh yeah, that's just New England.
Yeah, that's right. So that makes more sense. But I think my whole point was it started off with the Action PC hockey game. If you have a PC version of a sim game and you kind of base it around, it's a closed engine, but you have a chalkboard, develop the chalkboard, meaning the animation. That's what I like. The guy who taught the APA hockey, Greg Wells, is from Massachusetts. He graduated from UMass. He made the game really easy. He lives in Pennsylvania now, but I wish he did YouTube videos teaching the game. That'd be cool. That's a great point.
Yeah, I think the thing with all the APA games is whatever the play result number is going to translate. And sometimes I watched someone do that, and I could see where it would flow just like with APA baseball. You know, once you figured it out, it was going to go.
I think with me and with a lot of when you have APA or Strat people, you know, like they defend their game fiercely, and that's fine. It's what they grew up with.
Oh, for sure.
You know, it's just Greg is Mr. APA, and he says great guy too. Maybe you guys should try to get him on. And if anyone's watching, you should, and you're a game developer, you should go on Digital Dice. And then when you're done with them, you should come on my show and talk. We're not mean people. People want to ask you guys questions. It helps. You know, you might think, oh, we're small YouTubers, but
no. I mean, again, thanks for 400 subs, by the way. Al's the one that told me that. I knew I was close, but
I watch your channel all the time.
And Nurse Teresa's already looking for alimony now, just for that.
That's right.
That's right.
Listen, Nurse Teresa. I have so many jokes. I'm not going to do them because this is not show. She's the one who gave me these. Coochie coo. You know, 24 hours of this, people.
Okay, that's not too bad. He can do APA hockey in 55 minutes with optional rules H. The last time I had to do something with an H was involved something that needed preparation, but
yeah, hemorrhoids are painful. They
yes,
suck.
They are. We'll never joke about them. I've had them once. It was really Anyway,
yeah, I've had them more than once. They suck.
Yeah. And so
here's the thing that fascinates me about APA. There's so many home brew things for APA, which I find incredible.
Okay. wanted to go into was the fact that, you know, at some point I'm going to do a video of me playing. There's no hate. There is no hate.
I don't hate. Is everybody saying they hate APBA?
There is no hate here.
We don't hate anything. I'm not used to the game. I play a wrestling game that's APBA. It's an APBA clone.
The golf game, the ASG Golf, is a pure APBA clone.
Yeah, Ron loves that game.
Yeah,
there
is no hate. There is no hate. I don't
Ron, what's that? The NP whatever is sort of like APBA.
Yes,
the free game.
Yep. He's kidding, by the way.
I know. We're just kidding back.
I've
now lost 72 subscribers on that.
Mods. We were talking about mods, and because I mean, have you ever really seen a mod for Strat?
No. I have. Thank you, Mr. Utah Mike, our good friend, Sports Time Machine. He's helped me with some of the stadiums, and I want to. I can't even load up a freaking picture that I find better and try to figure out how to do the stupid. It's like Chinese trigonometry. What? Let me load the picture at least. I bought everything. I bought your modern things. I bought your old ones. I liked them, but I found better pictures that I want to put in.
That's me on an average stream, Appa Chatter.
You lost Dave Gardner 72 times. That's probably true. Strat, they do not want you to mod anything. There is a person on, I want to say it's Brian Strat-O-Matic or something. He does a lot with, if you have Strat, and I have to find I'm talking, you know, we're talking about APBA, and there's a homebrew rule for this and a homebrew rule for that. Oh, yeah. I've never seen homebrew rules for Strat.
That's what I was talking about.
I'm sorry. I understand what you mean. I'm sorry.
Your safe space in your closet? Yes. Right by the two dice that always, the weighted dice that always say 66 that you bring to the tournament.
I think the one homebrew rule you could have with Strat, because I think from watching Earl, Tenacious Earl, do a few years back his Philadelphia Phillies replay, and he just had horrible luck rolling. I've never seen such bad luck rolling dice in my life, right? When you have a dominant pitcher, especially a closer, you have to. There should be a rule, something where it's instead of 4, 5, and 6, maybe it's 1, 4. But again, it's weighted. It's tough.
It's weighted, and the other thing is too. You know, I've seen.
I actually tried this stupid little rule I was going to say, where I took a column. It really didn't. Be honest with you, the column you take, you're not going to take a good column, I guess. You know. But.
Yeah, I'm going to make it so because it is almost impossible. And maybe if you're doing super advanced Strat hockey, to have a bench clearing brawl.
Ron had one, or he had a lot of brawls in his Action PC.
No, that was the Action PC.
I know we were talking about that today.
Offline, got a game misconduct.
Yep. I think they ramped up the violence in the game, which because I asked
at 3.
Yeah.
They're out of 10, and so it's like 2 is marked less, 3 is marked realistic, 4 is marked more. 0 through 10. 0 was none, and 10 was labeled brutal. Well,
I'm gonna play a game on 10 for ha-has and see if anyone actually survives. Because I we were discussing before he came on. I go, Uncle Ron, I was watching your video, listening this morning. There were a lot of fights, and I noticed I played 2 periods of an exhibition, which I posted a couple of things in the Discord, and I had a ton of fights. I'm like, did they amp this? What did you have it on? Because I left it on what it was on. I didn't touch it. You know, it seemed like a lot of fights.
The only thing I changed, because I rarely change anything in the Action PC games.
Oh, excuse me.
That's because you had Fuzzy trying to hit a putter out of the bunker, Dave.
Oh, the Cubs and Bears.
But that wasn't meant to be a slam. I was talking about the interface is much more of a console type. If I watch someone doing the NHL games or the Madden, that's what I'm talking about. That wasn't talking about it being dumbed down.
No, that game's not dumbed down at all.
Not at all.
I think the Cubs and Bears, what he means, it's more of it's more visually appealing to people who are coming from console games such as PlayStation 4 or a what I don't play the other one. What the hell's the other one called? Microsoft Xbox. Yeah, I think that's is what he meant.
That's
it's
exactly
just,
that wasn't.
Yeah, it's not a slam on the game. Now again, that game's not Ron's cup of tea, but it's not that game out of the ballpark. Definitely not dumbed down. Definitely
not at all.
No.
Not at all. But
No.
they go through, and their fan base is considerably younger.
Yes,
That's a fan base that wants to take their favorite team and build them into a contender or keep them a contender, as opposed to the type of gaming that I largely do, which is much more of a reminiscent type thing. That was not a slam at all towards OOTP.
No, I didn't take it that way. So yeah, no, the Cubs and Bears is not. We were just making a compare. Hello, Bobby, rumbling, stumbling. Bobby, the Gator chaser.
We'll see how much I like the new game before I do that. But yeah,
I have a quick question, Uncle Ron, because I keep forgetting to ask this. Have you ever? I want to make a team. Now, I was looking at action football. We'll say football, right? Mm-hmm. Action PC and or 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10, it looks like you put the stuff in, you put the stats in, it kind of spits out what the players should be. Have you ever made a player's card? I know, Baseball Demos has done it. Because like if I wanted to make a player's card, say for football or baseball or whatever, in Action PC, do you put in just stats and it spits it out? Do you know anything about that? Because it looks like for 2nd and 10, and this is another cool thing for 2nd and 10. I haven't done it, but I've looked into it. You put the stats in of a team and players and stuff, it's going to give you quote unquote the card.
I know you can create yourself for Action PC if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I
got to fool around with that. Because I have a crazy idea, but
yeah, I've made my own golfer for ASG. You have the ability to do that.
For AS, and you can do that too with Action. I've seen that.
Yes, I've done that for Action. It drives me nuts because it can never putt as well as my rating says it I should. But
okay, so for Action PC, you created a golfer for yourself.
I've created a golfer for myself in Action PC as well.
Now, okay, so when you did that, did you have to put numbers in? And then
there's sliders. It's all sliders.
Oh, okay. I wonder if that. Oh, cool. Hello, ID Gesture. Another wonderful channel in our community. I'm going to fidget mode now.
And Clinton Parks is back.
Hello, Clinton Parks.
And you can do that. You can. So yeah, I did it both of an ASG and Action PC. They were kind of sliders. You got for ASG, you could 0 through 8 for a number of categories, and so you could kind of create the golfer that you wanted, and it would tell you what the average score for that golfer should be.
Interesting. I played that soccer game between the Cosmos and Manchester United.
Yeah, the GoPro.
Yeah, it's free, and it's free off of that site. Mm-hmm. So I took it's fun. Again, it's text-based. You got to be interested in what you're doing. You can create teams, and it's pretty easy on there. You just had to find the stats, and that was a lot of fun.
We paused 5 seconds for Dave Gardner to get slaughtered in Borderlands. This is
Borderlands, a fun game.
This is the Retro Sports Network.
Yes. Dave and I are going to play later.
Yes. Okay. So gonna go till about 9:15.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So I that's pretty interesting how, like Ron had just said, you see a lot of APA mods, meaning rule mods, not visual mods kind of thing. And you don't see any for Strat. And I think it's just it would be more difficult.
It's not a knock on one game and saying the other one is there. I gotta be careful because that's not what this is about at all.
No, we don't knock games.
We
knock companies.
It's kind of curious though that people love to tinker.
Yeah,
I think that kind of leads where I was going to go with roster card, but you had a thought.
Yeah, the one thing I've done, I did it once because I tried to incorporate the basic old cards, and what I did was, hello, Braves for Life, hope all is well. On the basic set, what I did, because I have the all-time file, whatever, you get every player up until 2016 and whatever they average it out. And what I did was I looked to see when they got tired, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of modded the basic. I played it once, but it was too much writing stuff on the back of the cards. I'm like, I'm just going to play. So that's the one kind of, I basically kind of took basic cards and try to bring it up so I could use some of the pitching stuff and some of the bunting and the stealing and stuff like that.
Right.
So that would be a rule change, I guess.
So roster card.
Yes.
Which is the cards and dice game for baseball that's easiest for me to play because everything's on a sheet.
Right. Right.
And so what I've done is pretty much eliminate the chart. I'm still working on some of the homebrew rules, but I know on certain dice roll, I'm a real big stickler about out distribution. I guess
yes, you do. That was your big thing with one of the games,
Digital Diamond.
Yep.
I mean, everybody's kind of anal about certain aspects of the game, whatever it is that they're playing. But I want my second baseman not to sit there and twiddle his thumbs the entire time. And the out distribution in roster card, I think, is okay. But I took a look at those 3 pages of charts and went, I'm not doing any of that, because then it goes back to the flow thing. I gotta stop. I gotta re-roll. I gotta figure this out. Oh, an assist rating. So I gotta stop. I gotta go figure out what the hell my center fielder is and what's the speed of my runner. And no, I want something that I can just, if I gotta stop and do a fielding check, I gotta stop and do a fielding check. And I got that game. It was a low scoring game, mind you, like 2-1. I played a game of that in 11 minutes.
Yeah, you like the game, but you've modded it, and it was an interesting mod when we had a discussion. I think it was in Discord. So.
Right, it was the mod. I just cut down to, okay, let's use some logic, taking what he had done with the base running situations and making it a lot simpler.
Yep.
So I didn't have to sit there and go, okay, I got to stop now on this single. Where does the single go? And then I rolled 2 more dice and cross-check another chart. Nope. Okay, so I know it's a single. I've got a runner on first. What's my 6-sided dice say? It's a 6. All right, that runner's going to third, which he would in the game anyway. On a 1, that would be a pretty good chance in my world to have the outfielder throw him out. So unless I need that run, I'm not moving that runner. That runner is holding put. I'm working on a way to simplify the steal thing, because if you play any Red Sox team up until the advent of Jacoby Ellsbury,
they don't steal.
They don't steal, and so I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I just don't do enough of in a cards and dice baseball game. But I got the game to play quite accurately.
Yeah, and again, I'm pretty sure it was in Discord. You would, because people are talking about how they've modded that game or the questions they had regarding that game or the things that they didn't find. I don't want to say
confusing and
there is. I played very little. There were a couple of things I thought should have went a little, and I'm not, when I played. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry,
but that's a game in my mind.
Yes,
that should play as simple as APA Basic and Strat Basic. Now, I don't think in Strat Basic you can get hit by a pitch. Or has that changed? Is there a hit by a pitch in the Strat Basic card?
I don't think so. No.
I mean,
because I've played a bunch of Strat Basic. I've never had a hit by a pitch.
You cannot get hit by a pitch
on the lefty righty one. Yes.
Yes, on the advanced there certainly is, and on the super advanced. But no one engine is perfect. But on the surface, they should be roster card should be as fast playing as those other 2. And it's not about rushing. I'll take as long as I need to play a game as it needs to be played. I was surprised it took me 11 minutes to play.
I've always said that. Ken and I had that discussion when he came up for lunch. I look forward, Ken, when you're up this way again to go to lunch again. Ron and Al, have you purchased? I have the 80s and 90s. Ron, it'd be nice if they did that for the PC. I think Ron.
I don't think they sell them for the PC.
No, because I know why they don't, because they don't want. If they did that for the PC, people would gobble them up. I have the 90s and 80s A and B. I enjoy it. I'm still trying to figure out. I have so many cards. Like I showed it here. I play a lot of the 81 Yankees. I'm psyched for the 70s because I'm going to get the 78 Yankee and Ron Guidry. Again, he tortured me as a child, so I want to continue the torture till my days on this earth are gone. But yeah, this is the 81. Again, my camera's supposed to autofocus. It doesn't. So this is 81, and it's a fun set. I play them. I like those. Those are my favorite sets, but that's me. I like the 80s, the best of the 90s, the best of this. I hope they do best of 60s, best of 50s, but I hope they do all that stuff. I'd like to have. I have it on the PC. The 27 Yankees, which you look at those cards, holy poop. And even Babe Ruth, when he hit, I think he hit 24, 21? He hit the Yankees didn't even win. It's the year the Washington Senators actually went to the World Series. They won the American League. He hit 380 something or some ridiculous number. And it's you don't get him out on his card. It's hilarious. ID Gesture. So do you know someone got the designer to up? Yes, you. ID Gesture had a discussion via a forum. Greg Lang, hello. But yeah, I do like those sets. I don't know who had asked. Was that Braves for Life?
I think it's Braves for Life.
Yeah, I do like those sets. That's something I enjoy. Yeah,
I know when I sit down to play baseball and doing a replay, not just a game for poops and grins.
Yeah.
But my intention is.
Well, you're doing a whole season though.
Right. My intention is when I sit down is to do a series, a 3-game series.
And get them all in one setting, right?
Do them all in one setting. And if I'm done in 60 to 75 minutes, that's about the right speed for that. And so, Kenny ask you a question. Okay. In the 90s set, I don't remember all the teams, but you can go on their site. They'll tell you. There's A and B. So you get 8 teams in the A set, 8 teams in the B set, 16 teams in total. You got to buy them separately. I bought both sets. I'm not telling anyone to buy anything. Every once in a while, someone says, "Oh, you made me buy something." I didn't make you buy anything. I'm saying this is what I did. So says the person that has accused me of being a pusher.
That's different. You are a pusher. You caused my addiction. No. So in the 80 set, A and B, 8 teams, 16 in total. You got to buy them separately. I think they're going to do the same thing with the 70 set. They've only come out with they've given you the A version. So what they do in the A and B basically is they're giving you sometimes it's World Series teams, but they break them up so you get both. But listen, to me, it was money well spent. It's just a lot of fun to look, to have those fun teams. And I hope they continue to do that. Because they're doing the 70s, I hope they do the 60s, the 50s, so on and so forth. ID Gesture. So, I'm sorry. Also, anyone that's looking for something old, Deep Drive Baseball released 1893 season cards on sale now. Have you ever played Deep Drive Baseball?
I saw ID's demo of that. See?
I remember that now.
Someone's accusing me of being a pusher.
Oh, DJ.
He's
a pusher. No, he's not.
I slow down when there's runners on base. To make sure that I'm doing it right. And so if you get ground ball to third, ground ball to short, ground ball to second, or strikeout, I score the games on ball score.
Yep.
And so I'm involved.
Can you still get ball score or no?
Yeah.
You can. Okay.
You can. So there is involvement for me with the individual play. So I'm not just clicking for the result because I use ball stat, ball score.
Yep.
For the stats, I have the interaction of going through and saying, okay, strikeout, ground out. I may not be looking at who's up at the plate. Depends
Yeah.
on what my curiosity is.
So
But
you're
when the runner on base,
you want to make sure.
I want to make sure that I'm doing things right, or what? Because, like I said, in roster card, my house rules change by the game, whatever. Which is why I haven't done a video on that. Because again, it's whatever I think
You're
plays
using your baseball logic.
my baseball logic. Which in a hockey game, I don't know if I have the right logic to make those decisions. In a football game, and you probably could make those decisions. It's whatever team passes the smell test in your head.
Yeah, I've done the same thing with dice baseball. What you just said. Like I've played them offline because I've put it. I actually use the ball. What's that ball roller? It's a dice roller. Yeah,
ball roller.
And actually, I was like, this is great. I can play all these seasons now because I can't print them all. I printed some, right? I mean, I can print them. How many times am I going to use them? So what I do is like, I can play this team against this team and just enjoy it. But you got to cut and paste. Okay, that's kind of a pain in the ass. But you put on a spreadsheet, you do the thing. But I do the exact same thing now. Where if there's no one on it, it's a ground ball. I know it's an out. I don't care. It's an out.
And that's why, I think roster card works as well as the basics for APBA and Strat. 24 is a 24 is a 24. 39, unless it's a strikeout, is going to be a fly out to right in roster card.
Yeah.
The one thing that because I think the game runs hot as played by the rules. And if you watch any of ID Jester's games,
there's a lot of
I ditched the splits.
Yeah, you're saying that.
7, 58, and 59 are respectively a fly ball to left, a fly ball to center, and a fly ball to right.
They're just outs.
They're just outs. You got enough chances
to get a hit.
To get a hit. And I do think that a pitcher can be dominant. Those strikeout rolls, especially if you got a strikeout rating that goes in the low 90s, when you're not going to that's pretty powerful stuff. And so
I tell you what, with dice baseball, what I like and
the control factors when I've watched that you do that.
And I got to do more of it on the channel because I really do like that. It's just I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it. I love the control factor because you have a dominant pitcher and they'd be like, oh well, Bob Gibson was dominant in '68. There's a reason he had a 1.12.
Yes.
You didn't get hit. You didn't score runs and you didn't get hits off of them. And I mean ERAs, the runs, but yeah, I like that. Oh my God, if Payoff Pitch does a PC game, but they do it with I can roll dice and I can basically punch that in and play it up on the, where I don't have to. And Payoff Pitch is very fun. That's a fun, Ron. If they do that, you're gonna love that game.
Yeah,
that game. I love watching people play Payoff Pitch. I play a little bit of it, and I learn from it. You know what I forget about Payoff Pitch? There's like this wild pitch thing, and I always forget. And like an inning later, I'm like, oh crap, that guy could have thrown a wild pitch, but I forget. It's right on the card too.
Right.
I always forget that. But yeah, great fun game.
No, it looks it. It looks.
They do the tough. It kind of has a little bit of like history. I like History Maker Baseball for people who play it. I'm throwing this out there.
Some people love it.
Oh yeah, and it's fine. I love watching it. Can someone explain to me? I'm not being funny or a wise guy. Baseball demos.
My sad sack for a long time.
Yeah, like the average. Like if we gave you a player, just explain it through like the stats. This guy would be this and why, because you can make your own cards. Phantomatic probably. Dave Little could probably answer that. So, Dave Gardner. I just got 1,042 seasons of Greco. Oh, the season 1042 Greco-Roman wrestling came with the. Oh my God, you're so lucky. That's gonna be some good wrestling there. Did they add the Lion Pack? You got to get the Lion Pack and the Christian Pack with that.
I think it depends on what season you're playing. I know in 67, you can get strikeout numbers for the batter sometimes in the 40s. I'd hate to see what the new one's going to be.
Well, again, if you look at the 50s and stuff, if you look at
the strikeout,
no, if you look at teams' ERAs, like pitchers' ERAs who are good, they're in the 3s. They're not like in 60. You got to the 60s with Sandy Koufax and things like that. and you had your quote unquote dead ball, and just a little after that. I mean, in the 50s, think of a really good pitcher. Go look at his ERA. I'm almost, a lot of those Yankee pitchers, their ERAs were in the 3s, somewhere in the low 4s. It's kind of funny when I was looking at it, I complain about ERAs now, and I'm looking at those. I'm like, but they bashed the crap out of the ball back then. And there was a lot of walks from the late 40s, early 50s.
49.
Holy
49 in particular.
cow. I actually looked up. Remember, Ron? I kept going. I think the game's broke, which it actually did break one time out of the ballpark. We're trying to do the 48 World Series, and it just went nuts. But I was looking up. I said, I got to go look this up. Were there this many walks? I was like, holy crap, there were this many walks. Like from 48 to 50, especially 49, because I'm playing that on digital. Digital. Oh, God. The one that you have an issue with. I can't think of the name.
Digital Diamond.
And I've been playing. I roll my own dice. I've not come across the same issues as Ron with the newer version. I did with the older one. And there's just a ton of walks. It's the way it is. But
yeah,
so.
All right, couple more minutes if you got any questions. Like I said about OOTP earlier, right? That was not a slam on the game. It just is.
No, I know it wasn't.
When you're designed for people who are younger,
they're making it more visually appealing because people will. And I love Out of the Ballpark. I love it, love it, love it. If you had to buy one game where you get everything, that's the game. And again, closed engine. You got to like the closed engine. You got to accept it. It comes. Okay, I did a full simulation of the 1977 season. The funny thing with that, it got pretty much everything right, except the Indians and Red Sox basically flip-flopped, sort of. Now, the Indians didn't win because the Red Sox, horrible pitching, right?
Oh, they're terrible.
The pitching was horrible in 77. They finished, I want to say, 2.5 games out. Their offense was outstanding. But when I went back, and I just did I ran the whole season. I went back and I looked, right? They lost almost every freaking close game they were in because their pitching failed them. Now, the offensive numbers were pretty much the same, and Bill Campbell, Soup, right, was pretty much the same. But their pitching they lost every close game when because it tells you the 1-run games, it has stats galore in that. And that was interesting to me.
With the amount of stats that's available now.
Yeah. And one more quick thing on that, Uncle Ron.
Yep.
Ron did the Action PC football. Kansas City Chiefs 19. Oh, God, was it 78? No, 80. Or did I do 80? The one you did prior, the last replay you
78.
did. 78. Well, I was at work watching his lunch specials with the football games, which I enjoy. And he said something, and for some reason, I said, I think they lost a lot of close games that year. It was because 78, I followed football even as a little kid because the Patriots had a good team. And we looked it up. You know what? It's not unrealistic because they had a decent record with Emerson Winchester at quarterback, right? Livingston?
Yes.
And he couldn't throw the ball at all. It was hilarious. But they lost a ton of close games. So now you get a field goal to go the other way a couple of times. You win 3 out of those 4 games you lost. Guess what? You have a winning record.
Right.
So that says a lot for the Action PC engine.
Yeah. There are so many stats available now.
Yeah.
For this modern generation of games, whether it's card and dice or OTP or the Action PC, that just weren't publicly available to when Stratomatic came into being or when Sites was creating the APA stuff. Or taking the Clifford Van Beek stuff and turning it, refining that.
You have baseball reference.
Oh my God!
You have football, all the references, baseball,
all the
football,
references. Yeah. I mean, it was such a big hairy deal when I walked out of Laureate's at the Great Rutland Mall in 1981.
Almanacs, right?
The Sports Encyclopedia Baseball, Nefton Cohen.
I used to use. Oh wow, yeah. I used to use a lot of almanacs when I.
The Xander Hollander books for all 4. Oh yeah, I mean, it's porn. It was sports porn.
I would read that stuff over and over again because the stats always intrigued me. So.
And so. Absolutely. And so now, because everything is so available to anybody, it's easier, I think, now to make a game that is statistically accurate than it was in 1975, unless you spent the money to get the stuff from the Elias Sports Bureau.
Right, because they always kept everything.
Splits, for instance, for whenever Strat came up with their first advanced season with the splits, or whenever Kenny, when did the master game for APBA was what, 76, which I think introduced the master pitching grades and the variables between a left-handed pitcher to whenever, what I'm talking about. Oh, so mid 70s, 70,
76, Kenny Castro.
75, 76, somewhere in there.
APBA says 70. Yeah, so somewhere in there. Thank you, gentlemen.
Mid 80s, they needed computers for that. One of the first teams to actually use computers was the New York Mets. Davey Johnson had a computer. God bless him. So yeah, 75 season. Yeah. So it's easy to do that, but you're always going to have variability, like we talked about. You take a bad team, especially in baseball, and I don't care what engine you're using,
they're going to be a bad team.
They are going to be a horrible.
And I know we're ending quick, but I do a 1962 replay of the Red Sox and Mets offline, and I put my misery in the Discord every once in a while, right? And for me to enjoy that for the Mets, right, I use the lineup they give, but I tinker with it. If the 8 guys they have in the lineup, but then I just kind of bunch the 4 best guys up top because that team's horrendous.
Right. 71 for 70 or 72 for 71? And of course it would be. That was the year I was born.
It's funny, the old advanced strat cards, they have the lefty-righty splits. Hello, Larry Harris. Hope all is well. They have the lefty-righty splits, but it's the basic fielding. It's actually kind of fun because I have the old the 83. The 84 game had the 83 card set, and it's advanced. You can play advanced. There's no super advanced then, but and God, that's Yaz's last year. I might do a game with the old set with Yaz. That Red Sox team is horrendous, and of course, the one team I wanted not to be cut off. Like when they cut the cards, they did. Again, do I really know what Ed Urak? Do I need to know? But still, I wanted the card to look right. They cut off the advanced part on the top.
But he was a top future star. He's going to break through any day now, right? Right?
I couldn't cheat with that team and win, and believe me, I tried.
72 for the 71 season. Yep. We actually have our largest audience of the night, so we'll go a few more minutes.
You know why? Because you're great, Uncle Ron.
The Wolfle. Okay, I'll post this one. Yeah, the 85. They found ways to lose just like in real life. I mean, Dave Gardner, we've been joking with. He did the Golden Seals or the replay, and
I love that. But he made a great point. When you're playing a bad team,
oh man, I'd hate to see what he'd tear. If that was Strat, he'd tear those cards up because you just can't get the chances.
Now with Action P, I'd like to see him do that with Action PC though, because you can tinker more.
Right. Bring up the point that you've done a good job with the 77 Mets in that replay because you're
okay. This is what I do with that, but it's actual transactions. And actual
right. You sent
rosters
Cincinnati for a bucket of warm piss and Pat Zachary.
Right. Yeah. And it's funny when you do that, you get into a groove of the way you're playing. So what I do basically is I use my own pitching staff the way I want, and I use my own lineups the way I want. So there's going to be players who play more until I can't play them, meaning they're off the team, they get hurt. If that happens, they're gone. Then I have to figure out a new way to play. We're 2 games over 500 right now. We play go Mets baseball. People watch it. Listen, Lenny Randall and Lee Mazzilli, they're 8s for bunting for a hit with no one on. Guess what I do a lot? I'll drop that bunt down.
Now, if you did that and Stratton posted
it doesn't work. It does not work.
It doesn't work. You'd also get people screaming at you for playing strap ball.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's the one thing that you can do in Action PC and OTP.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. With Strat, I've learned, again, with my Mets replay and Strat, 62, the 8 players in the pitcher, so that's your 9 players in the lineup. I don't tinker with that. I mean, I'm not saying I'm changing that. What I do is
isn't terrible.
I change. What was that? We are goodbye. Oh, I thought there was something. Anyway, What I do is I tinker with the lineup. They give me the 9 players. I adjust it. Obviously, the pitcher's batting. Sometimes I think I should bat the pitcher higher because those guys at the bottom of the lineup.
Work.
Yeah.
Well, that lineup it might, but
yeah, it's fun. I like Strat. I just think with Strat because it's tougher to win with a bad team. You got to get really creative because the hit and run. I don't care what anyone says. The hit and run in Strat does not work properly. Now not a lot of teams hit and run anymore, but when I was a kid, a lot of teams hit and ran.
Different game now.
But the point was to hit and run to stay out of the double play. How many times have I rolled and it's a freaking A? There should be very little chance of a double play on a hit and run unless it's a scorcher.
It's got to be a line drive.
And you just I'm sitting there going, it's a hit and run. That's my one complaint with Strat.
Right. But yeah. All right. I'm going to mute myself for a second because I remember I got a couple things to show you. So I'm going to call the wife in a second. It's run and hit. And in fact, you can do that in Action PC. They have a hit and run setting and a run and hit setting.
Okay. Yes.
I've never seen that.
I don't do the run and hit. You could do that in out of the ballpark too. Run and hit.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. You have a lot of options there.
Yep.
But
you're gonna mute us?
I'm gonna mute myself.
Oh, so I'll continue to.
So you can continue to talk about something for a moment, and I'm gonna yell for my wife.
All right. So Uncle Ron will be back in a second. He's gonna show us something. We're very excited about that. So what are some of what would you like to see a change in when it comes to games you like to play? Or maybe nothing, Again, I'd love to come up with why do I love Glory Days Boxing? Play it a ton. No charts. Very little. I shouldn't say that. Very little charts. You have one big chart, which is your rare action chart or whatever you want to call it, right? So you have your one big chart. And then you have another basic chart that's on the score sheet. And that's it. It's a lot of fun. So all your information is at your fingertips. I've been working on a football game for 4 freaking years now, and every time I think I have something really good, something else clicks in my head. I'm like, oh yeah, I need to adjust that.
All right, I'm gonna.
Uncle Ron's back.
Solo on the screen for a second here.
Yep.
This is what my wife got me for our wedding anniversary. That's number 1.
Nice. Hello, Sarah.
That's L. All right, and the other one I got, as you're doing that bannable offense in the chat out, and here's the other one. Did you see that?
Yeah, I like those Expo shirts.
Yeah, so
those are sweet.
That's what I got for late wedding anniversary present.
Awesome.
I gotta put those on. So, and there's of course Sarah's yelling at me.
Turbocharge. He asks it to me, but we'll if you can bring that one up. Where is it?
It's not a player jersey. What am I supposed to be bringing up? I'm trying to avoid
PC card. Oh, I lost it. God damn it.
Okay.
Where is that? It went up too fast.
PC card, Dyson both.
Yeah. That's a good question as we're coming to an end. I love them all, like Bogey and Bacall, as I say. I fell back in love with cards and dice.
Absolutely. I think it was.
It's fun. Yeah, nice jerseys. Larry Harris likes the jersey. They're great. Expo. You should have got the hat.
I have. Do I? I have
the old school red, white, and blue.
I'm looking. Let me take a look at.
That hat is awesome. Dave Gardner has a great collection of stuff when it comes to hats and jerseys. If you've not subscribed to Dave Gardner's channel, please do so.
I don't see when I had the modern blue one, but I know where
it's a solid blue cap. Yeah, I remember. I like the red one.
Right.
But yeah, cards and dice are a lot of fun. We need more college football card and dice games. How many are there?
None.
Strat.
Do they actually do a cards and dice version?
They do a PC version.
But no, cards and dice.
No, I don't think so, no. I'd have to look.
Kenny, she left us kind of like Carl Yastrzemski thrown out her first pitch.
Out of there.
She left us, she was on the Tobin by the time that the game started.
Well, there's a card and dice college game. APA. Okay, thank you. Okay. It's all on one card.
Does second season do college?
No. Second season being the Play.com
football game, yeah.
I don't think I'm not that familiar with that. I don't want to say I don't know. But there was what the hell was that called, that game? Bull Bound, you can get that.
Oh yeah, that's the Sports Illustrated
Bull
Avalon
Bound's
Hill
still
paper.
around.
Right. Oh yeah.
And it's on one sheet. They don't give you players' names. Downey Games does college, and if you
They
want,
do it for
obviously
Dave,
action.
which is not the Ultra Quick, which is the one that's actually like a full play game from them.
Oh, the fast action card one. Is that the fast action card? That was fun. I enjoyed what Dave did with that and all the nice little cool things he
You've
added.
had 6 months to come up with dibs on this forehead. There are college mods for second season.
Okay. Thanks. See, that's why we do these. We learn stuff.
That's right. And I want Jim Harbaugh gone. Maybe he can go coach Ohio State next.
Ooh.
Because I
you want me to do the
for about 4 seconds today. I saw it was 35-8 to Wisconsin. It's like Jim Harbaugh hasn't won a meaningful game at Michigan ever.
You're right.
I was joking with on the Discord with Dave Little. I said usually we had to wait for New Year's Day to get our hearts broken because Bo could never win the Rose Bowl. But now,
did he ever win a Rose Bowl?
Yeah, he won 3.
Okay. Because you say that, and I'm like, we're thinking back. I never saw Michigan win a Rose. They probably did. I just forgot.
Yes. I had to go back to school. I'm sending you a bucket of fiber from Ben and Jerry's.
Lots of Buckeye fans we have in our FOC.
I have no. Okay. Captain Carl, who, by the way, I didn't realize when I went back to the Strat fan forum today that Captain Carl's a big guy over there. 86, 87, and 88. But I'm sure it's more of, no top 20 teams or top 25.
Well, even with Action PC games, they have a lot of top things. Now they're doing full seasons. To be honest, well,
you could buy them for 2nd and 10, but they have 6,000 teams for free.
2nd and 10 is incredible.
And that that is a cards and dice port.
It is. The one thing is, I'll tell you what, if 2nd and 10 could do this, it'd be tough because it's a lot of dice rolling. Because I actually put the dice up one time playing, just to see the dice rolls. I mean, you don't roll it yourself. It just says this is what happened, right? So you can see the engine. If they could add that you could roll your own dice somehow, punch the numbers in, and animation for the price point, it's incredible.
I'm gonna.
But he's having a blast, and that's what is important.
Now I'm gonna get these random phone calls from women, and you know what Sarah says: you can run off with any woman you want. As soon as you gotta go to the bathroom, she's bringing you home anyway.
Yeah, that's the great thing about Action PC. You buy the football game, you can play college and pro. Strat, you have to buy 2 different games. Yeah. Again, that's what their fan base likes.
I'm diabetic. The last thing I need is a bucket of chocolate.
No chocolates for Ron. No chocolates.
Yeah, Ron will eat chocolates. I just can't eat them the mass quantities. And the last thing I want is to sit there here because I'm going to go to bed probably before Al does chat with Al because I think Al and Dave are going to do some Borderlands. Easter candy and Halloween candy. So here's a story I would tell tonight on Chat with Al. Okay.
Early bird special.
We would go around and do the trick or treat thing. And
what was your favorite Halloween costume?
Oh, I was a ball player for a few years.
Nice.
There's a picture of me from 1980 dressed up as an Arab. So I'm now ineligible for any public office because they're painting myself in brown face.
I have I dressed as a sheik one time. I'm ineligible.
Yeah, that was back then. And of course, it gets cold enough up here that you throw your snowsuit on underneath your costume. And when I lived in New Mexico, we actually did a cakewalk.
A cakewalk.
A cakewalk.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so because it was at the school I went to, and so my mom built a school bus to go around the wheelchair.
That is cool.
That was really
that is ingenious.
Yeah,
that is awesome. Great. I like that.
And
that's
so
awesome.
I won a cake.
That is cool though. Awesome, man.
Dave Little dressed like Macho Man Randy Savage. I would anyway eat
candy.
so little of the candy and so little of the Easter candy that it would get thrown out. I'd eat a little bit that night.
Yeah.
And a couple there, from a couple days after, but I was never a huge now you give me a bag of chips, they're gone. Okay, it's still the case
It,
today.
I have to be honest with you. Salty snacks are harder for me too. Meaning,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you told me to get rid of
take-
chocolate, I could do it.
yeah. But
I
if
don't want to do it, but I
you
could do it.
take away my salty stuff.
Yeah, that's
No,
bad.
no.
No.
But yeah, no, she'd be good. She'd wait, and so she learned that by the time I was 10 or 11 at Easter, just that baseball cards would go a lot better for Easter than candy.
Baseball cards are always fun.
Yes.
I like baseball cards.
Dave was O.J. Simpson last year.
You know he's on Twitter now? I follow him. I recommend everyone to follow OJ. He has some interesting comments. That's all I'll say.
All righty. So that will take care of this show for this evening. I don't know what Al and Devin are doing later on.
I don't know if we're doing one. I'm going to try to hook up with Dave Gardner, play a little Borderlands.
Do some Borderlands.
I don't know if we're streaming it. We're just going to play and have fun. Maybe we stream it. I don't know. So
this might be the line of the night.
Dave went as Vincent Van Gogh. As a kid, led to his body painting prowess. You're correct. That is Todd B. Bum.
You're forgiven now for those god-awful Ohio State jokes.
Yeah.
Noon time tomorrow will be the first National League semi from that 60s tournament, and I got to get together with Kurt Berglund tomorrow morning. Do
you guys set the lineups for those together?
I think he trusts me that I'm not going to screw it up too bad.
Okay.
The computer will suggest.
They come up with some weird lineups sometimes. You're sitting here going, what? So.
Depends on whose channel you're playing on.
That's fine. You can play naked. I don't have to see you. I feel bad for your dogs. I love you, Uncle Dave. Uncle Dave and Uncle Ron are two of the nicest people you can find on YouTube or in general. Give new meaning to joystick.
Oh.
Well, there's so many jokes there, but this is with the Uncle Ron Juckett show.
Let's take 5 seconds for stations to identify themselves and for Dave to find his pride. This is the Retro Sports Network. All right, gang. So I'll see you tomorrow at noon for that 60. It's a National League game. I know the Reds are the 4 seed. I got to remember who the 1 seed is. So that will be at noon for your dancing and dining pleasure before week 3 of the NFL. Yep. And football games this week are going to be. I got to remember what I said.
You have a Patriots game.
I know I have a Patriots game.
Yep.
I have the Dolphins hosting the 49ers.
Yep. On Tuesday.
And then the Patriots and the Broncos from Mile High Stadium in Denver.
That's going to be where the Patriots never freaking won, ever, it seems.
And so those are the football offerings this week. And Monday night, we'll have the Strat virtual unboxing.
What time is that? Monday?
Probably between 6 and 7.
Cool, I'll be listening.
And the only season I have with it is the modern one. So plug your ears, ID. We'll be doing the Blues and the Bruins.
What season would you want?
Good question.
You put that in the Discord.
What teams are playing? I know the Reds are playing tomorrow because they're the 4. But I haven't set up the tournament yet, so I don't know. I have to double check with the person that's buying the tournament to make sure that the teams he wants.
Oh, I have a identificate, whatever what's that called?
Identificate?
Whatever. I identificate. Remember,
and the next my boss, Mr. Gardner, who hopefully you'll kill. No, I'm kidding.
No, we're on the same team.
Oh, you're on the same team. Well, don't shoot him, Dan.
No.
The next time we take the Digital Dice, I will be back for that, and we will be doing our hockey game show.
Ooh, cool.
So we'll be talking all hockey. 60. No, the cards are out. Cards are out. The 67 cards lost to the 65 Reds.
This is not scrolling for me.
So that's what we got. So we'll figure that one out. I got to send a message to Kurt tonight to see if he remembers what we decided.
Also, remember, if you want Patreon for Uncle Ron.
Thank you.
I'm a Patreon.
Yes, you
I don't regret it. And if you want a game of your choice, $10, Uncle Ron, he does a great job. as
And
you know if you've watched. And he's over 400. First, congrats, Uncle Ron. Over 400 subscribers. Dave Gardner brings it down and up all the time. He unsubscribes, he resubscribes. But congratulations, Uncle Ron. Continue to grow and spread the word of Uncle Ron and the rest of the FOC channels like myself, Dave Gardner, all the other great people, Fanomatic, ID Gesture, Tribes Fan, and anyone else in our Sports Time Machine.
Braves for Life, I haven't forgotten.
So
it probably will be next weekend. I'll do Game 7 of the 91 World Series. And I promise Kent Herbeck will not jerk Ron Gann
the
off.
joystick. Oh, wait, sorry.
And you don't win a prize. Yeah, that was a joke. All right, gang. Thanks for hanging with us for a while. We'll talk to you tomorrow. And
take care.
Alan, have a good one.